She's sold by her own father to settle a debt. 21-year-old Shishi becomes the unwilling bride of 69-year-old Korea's most dangerous mafia boss. But she had her own secret mission to learn his darkest secrets and destroy his empire before his 70th birthday. But in a world of lies and betrayal, who's really playing whom? Welcome back to K-Whisper TV. To every one of our amazing subscribers, thank you. Your love, your comments, your constant support, they are the heartbeat of this channel. You're the reason these stories continue to live and breathe. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Please take a moment to hit the like button. It truly helps more people discover these stories. And don't forget to drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We love seeing how far our whispers travel across the world. Now, take a deep breath. Because what you're about to hear is not just a story. Let's step into Shishi's dangerous journey, a path filled with fear, courage, sacrifice, and choices that could change everything. The black Mercedes pulled up to our compound at exactly 6 p.m. I watched from my bedroom window as 3 men in dark suits stepped out. The last one moved differently, slower, more deliberate. Even from a distance, I could see the silver in his hair, the way our neighbors suddenly found reasons to be elsewhere. Shishi, come down now. My father's voice cracked with panic. I'd known this day would come. For 3 months, Papa had been acting strange, jumping at phone calls, drinking more, whispering with Mama late into the night until she cried. Our street in Soyulir knew the whispers. Emeka had borrowed money from the wrong people. I just didn't know how wrong until I entered our living room. The silver-haired man sat in Papa's chair like he owned it. Maybe he did. He looked about 70, but his eyes were sharp, calculating. Korean, I realized, remembering my language studies. His suit probably cost more than our house. This is her. His English was perfect, barely accented. Papa nodded, unable to meet my eyes. Shishi, this is Mr. Park Jinwoo. Just Jinwoo, the old man said, studying me like merchandise. You speak Korean. Annyeonghaseyo, I replied, my university classes suddenly feeling inadequate. Jogium halsu isioyo. I can speak a little. Something flickered in his expression. Interest. Maybe. Your father owes me 50 million naira. Plus interest. It's now 75 million. My stomach dropped. 75 million naira? We didn't have 75,000. I can't pay, Papa whispered. I know. Jinwoo's gaze never left me. But I'm prepared to forgive the debt entirely. For a price. The room seemed to shrink. My wife died 2 years ago, he continued, as casually as discussing weather. I need a new one. Young. Educated. Respectful. Your daughter fits my requirements. She's 21, Mama gasped. You're 69. Jinwoo smiled without warmth. I turn 70 in exactly 1 year. I want a wife for my final years. In exchange, your debt disappears. Your family lives. Everyone wins. Everyone except me. And if we refuse? I heard myself ask. Jinwoo stood, buttoning his suit jacket. Then I collect my debt the traditional way. Your father has 3 days to produce 75 million naira, or I start taking payment in blood. His first. Then your mother's. Then yours. Then your 2 younger brothers. He knew about my brothers. He'd done his research. I need an answer by tomorrow evening, he said, heading for the door. Think carefully, Shishi. Your Korean is adequate. You could have a comfortable life in Seoul. Or you could all have no life at all. After he left, Papa collapsed into his chair and wept. That night, Papa came to my room. His eyes were red, desperate. I'm sorry, Noir M, he whispered. My daughter, I'm so sorry. But there's more you need to know. He closed the door, checked the windows, then sat on my bed. For the past 6 months, I've been working with the EFCC and Interpol, he said quietly. Jinwoo runs one of the largest human trafficking operations in West Africa. Girls disappear. They end up in Korea, Japan, China, slaves. The authorities have been trying to catch him for years, but he's too careful. My blood ran cold. When I borrowed the money, I didn't know who he was. By the time I found out, I was already trapped. The EFCC approached me 3 months ago with a plan. He grabbed my hands. Marry him. Get close. Find evidence. They need proof before his 70th birthday. Why his birthday? He's retiring. Transferring everything to unknown successors. If we don't get him before then, the entire network vanishes, and thousands more girls will suffer. His grip tightened. They have a witness protection program. After this is over, we all get new identities, new lives. But they need someone inside. So you're selling me to a mafia boss to be a spy? My voice shook with rage and terror. I'm giving you a chance to save lives, including ours. And when it's over, we're free. He pulled out a small phone from his pocket. This is encrypted. Hidden SIM card. Take videos, photos, documents, anything. They'll guide you. 1 year, Shishi. Just survive 1 year. I looked at my father, this broken man who'd gambled away our lives and now wanted me to fix his mistakes by sleeping with a monster. What if I say no to both options? Then we all die. And Jinwoo finds another girl to marry. And the trafficking continues. He stood. I know what I'm asking. I know I have no right. But you're the strongest person I know. If anyone can do this, it's you. After he left, I sat in the darkness, turning the encrypted phone over in my hands. 21 years old. I was supposed to be finishing my degree, dreaming about my future, maybe falling in love with someone my own age. Instead, I had 2 choices: watch my family die, or marry a 69-year-old criminal and destroy him from the inside. I thought about all those missing girls. The ones whose faces appeared on social media, whose mothers still searched. The ones who trusted the wrong people and ended up as merchandise. Maybe Papa was using them to manipulate me. Maybe the EFCC story was even real. But if there was even a chance I could stop this monster, I made my decision. The traditional Korean wedding ceremony felt like a funeral. I wore the hanbok Jinwoo's people had sent, crimson and gold silk that cost more than my family's annual income. My hands were decorated with henna in Nigerian style. A small rebellion Jinwoo had permitted with an amused smile. Blending cultures, he'd said. I appreciate that. The ceremony was private. No guests except his core associates, cold-eyed Korean men who watched me like I was a potential threat. Smart men. When Jinwoo slipped the ring onto my finger, his hand was steady. Mine trembled. You're afraid, he observed quietly, in Korean. Good. Fear means you're intelligent. The Seoul mansion was obscene in its luxury. Marble floors, priceless art, security cameras in every corner except, I'd noted carefully, the master bedroom and his private office. Mrs. Kang, the head housekeeper, showed me around with barely concealed contempt. You're the 4th wife, she said in Korean, assuming I wouldn't understand. The others didn't last long. What happened to them? I asked in Korean. She startled, then smiled coldly. 1 died. 1 went mad. 1 disappeared. Let's see which category you fall into. That first night, Jinwoo didn't touch me. He sat in his study, drinking expensive whiskey, watching me with those calculating eyes. You're wondering when I'll claim my conjugal rights, he said. I said nothing. I'm old, not dead. And you're beautiful. But I'm also patient. He poured himself another drink. Tell me, Shishi, why did you really agree to this? My family would be dead if that was your only motivation. You could have run. Taken them into hiding. Nigeria is a big country. He leaned forward. But you came willingly. Learned the Korean customs I required. You're planning something. My heart hammered. Did he know? I'm planning to survive, I said carefully. He laughed. Honest. I like that. Here's my offer. Survive well, and you'll want for nothing. Betray me, And you'll wish I'd killed you quickly. He stood. The guest room is prepared. You'll sleep there until I decide otherwise. Get used to your new home, Mrs. Park. For 3 days, he left me alone. I explored the mansion, noting exits, camera positions, security patterns. The encrypted phone stayed hidden in a tampon box, the one place male security wouldn't search. On the 4th night, Jin-woo summoned me to dinner. Tomorrow, you start Korean language tutoring. Full immersion, 6 hours daily, he announced over Galbye. You'll also learn about my business operations. Legitimate ones, of course. Of course, I echoed. I have enemies, Shishi. People who would love to use you against me. So you need to understand the family you've married into. His eyes gleamed. Would you like to know what I really do? This was a test. I assumed you'd tell me when you're ready. Diplomatic. He smiled. I import and export goods throughout Asia and Africa. Some legal, some less regulated. I also provide employment opportunities for young people seeking work abroad. Employment opportunities. The trafficking, wrapped in corporate speak. That sounds generous, I managed. Doesn't it? He watched my reaction. Some people call me a monster. They don't understand business. Everything I do follows supply and demand. People want opportunities. I provide them. And if they don't want those opportunities, then they shouldn't have signed contracts. He cut his meat with precision. The world is cruel, Shishi. I simply acknowledge that reality instead of pretending otherwise. I thought of the girls. The contracts they couldn't read. The promises of restaurant jobs that became nightmares. You disagree, he observed. I can see it in your eyes. I don't know enough to have an opinion. Liar. But a careful one. He set down his chopsticks. Come here. My legs felt like water as I stood. He pulled me onto his lap, his hand on my waist. Not sexual, but possessive. Claiming territory. You're my wife now, he murmured against my ear. That means everything you think, everything you feel, everything you are belongs to me. The sooner you accept that, the easier this becomes. His other hand traced my collarbone. But I'm not a cruel man. Accept your place, and I'll give you everything. Fight me, and I'll break you. It's really that simple. He kissed my neck, and I forced myself not to flinch. Go back to your room, he said suddenly, releasing me. I'll call for you when I'm ready. I fled, feeling his eyes on me the entire way. In my room, I finally let myself shake. I pulled out the encrypted phone and typed, "He's testing me. Trying to break me psychologically before physical consummation. Need guidance on how to proceed." The response came within minutes. Gain his trust. Let him believe he's winning. You're doing well. Stay strong. Easy for them to say. They weren't the ones in the monster's house. 6 weeks into my marriage, Jin-woo finally came to my bed. He was surprisingly gentle, almost tender. It made everything worse somehow. I could have handled violence. That would have been easier to hate. But this careful consideration, as if my comfort mattered to a man who sold human beings, made me want to scream. Afterward, he held me, fingers tracing patterns on my shoulder. "You're not a virgin," he observed without judgment. "No. My ex-boyfriend, Tunde, in university. A lifetime ago." "Good. I have no patience for that particular male obsession." He shifted to look at me. "Did you enjoy it?" The honest answer was no. How could I? But I was learning to play the game. "I'm still adjusting," I said carefully. Honest again. Most women would lie. He kissed my forehead. "You'll learn. I'm an excellent teacher." The routine became sickeningly normal. Language lessons in the morning. Lunch with Jin-woo when he was home. Afternoon studying his legitimate businesses, shipping companies, real estate holdings, restaurants. All fronts for the real operation. Evenings were for dinner, conversation, and increasingly, his bed. I hated how my body responded sometimes. Hated that part of me was adapting to survive. Hated that he was right. I was learning. But I was also learning other things. His office was on the 3rd floor, biometric lock, cameras outside but none inside. He went there every night at 11 p.m. for exactly 1 hour. Phone calls, he claimed. Business in different time zones. The house staff rotated schedules, but Minitjun, his right-hand man, was always present. Young, maybe 30, with dead eyes and perfect English. He watched me constantly. "You're different from the others," Minitjun said one afternoon, finding me in the library. "The other wives. They were afraid. You're afraid too, but you hide it better. Makes me wonder what else you're hiding." I looked up from my Korean grammar book. Maybe I'm just good at adaptation. Maybe. He sat across from me. Or maybe you're smarter than you look. Word of advice, Jinwoo respects strength, but he destroys threats. Figure out which category you want to be in. After he left, I logged the conversation on the encrypted phone. The EFCC handler responded, "Minitjun is dangerous. Avoid suspicion. Have you accessed the office yet?" Not yet. But I was working on it. That night, during our post-coital pillow talk, I made my move. "Can I ask you something personal?" I said softly. Jinwoo's hand stilled on my back. "Depends on the question." "Why did you really choose me? There must have been easier options than a Nigerian girl with a debt." He was quiet for a long moment. "My first wife was Korean. Traditional. Obedient. Boring. She gave me a son who betrayed me, then she died of cancer, probably from the stress of being married to me." This was new information. "My second wife was Chinese. Beautiful. Ambitious. She tried to steal from me. I had her deported." "And the third?" "Japanese. Young, like you. Sweet. Too sweet. She couldn't handle the reality of my world. Had a nervous breakdown within 6 months. So why me?" He turned to face me, eyes searching mine. "Because you have fire. Intelligence. You agreed to this marriage knowing what I am, and you haven't broken yet. You're either very strong or very good at pretending. Either way, I find it interesting. What if I'm just good at surviving? Then you're exactly what I need." He pulled me closer. "I'm dying, Shishi. My breath caught. Liver cancer. Stage 3. The doctors give me maybe 2 years, probably less. I turn 70 in 9 months, and I'd like to reach that birthday with my affairs in order." His hand cupped my face. "I need a wife who can represent me with strength. Someone who won't crumble when I'm gone. In exchange, you inherit everything." "Everything. Including the trafficking network?" "That's. I don't know what to say." "Say you'll stay. Say you'll learn my business and carry on my legacy." His thumb brushed my lip. "I know it's not the marriage you dreamed of. But it's the one you have. Make the best of it." For the first time, I felt something almost like pity for him. A dying man, alone, trusting a stranger with his empire because his own family had abandoned him. Then I remembered the girls. The lives destroyed. The families broken. Pity evaporated. "I'll stay," I whispered, because that's what he needed to hear. "I'll learn everything." He smiled, genuinely pleased, and kissed me. As I lay in his arms that night, pretending to sleep, my mind raced. 9 months until his birthday. 9 months to gather evidence and destroy him. The cancer was an unexpected development. Maybe I wouldn't even need to do anything. Maybe nature would handle it for me. But I couldn't risk it. Couldn't risk him transferring everything to those unknown successors who would continue his work. I had to move faster. My opportunity came during the 3rd month. Jinwoo flew to Tokyo for business, taking Minitjun and most of his security. He trusted me now, or at least trusted that I had nowhere to run. "I'll be back in 4 days, he said, kissing me goodbye at the airport. "Mrs. Kang will take care of you. Behave yourself." "Shouldn't I come with you? Learn the business." "Soon. First, you need to be ready." He touched my cheek. And you're almost there. The moment his plane took off, I acted. Mrs. Kang retired to her quarters by 10 p.m. The night guards patrolled outside but rarely entered. I had a 4-hour window. The office biometric lock was the problem. But I'd watched Jin-woo carefully, noted that he sometimes forgot to fully close the door. Just sometimes. Tonight, I got lucky. The door was closed but not latched, the lock not engaged. Thank you, overconfident old man. Inside, the office was pristine. Mahogany desk, leather chairs, walls lined with books and art. No computer visible, that would be too obvious. I searched methodically, phone camera ready. The books were real, first editions. The art was expensive but not suspicious. The desk drawers were locked. Then I noticed the painting, a traditional Korean landscape, slightly askew. Behind it, a wall safe. I'd watched enough movies to know I couldn't crack it, but I photographed the model number, the keypad. Maybe the EFCC had experts. The books were next. I pulled them randomly, checking for hollowed-out hiding spots. Nothing. Then, tucked behind a copy of Sun Tzu's Art of War, I found it. A leather ledger, handwritten in Korean. My hands shook as I photographed each page. Names, dates, amounts, routes, Lagos to Seoul, Bangkok to Osaka, payments to officials, port schedules. This was it. This was evidence. I was on page 30 when I heard footsteps. My heart stopped. The guards weren't supposed to. The door opened. Minute-jun stood there, expression unreadable. "Mrs. Park," he said softly, "you shouldn't be here." Every excuse I'd prepared died in my throat. The ledger was still in my hands. The phone, camera on, sat on the desk. I was looking for a book, I tried weakly. "Were you?" He closed the door behind him, locked it. "That's an interesting book you found." This was it. I was dead. But Minute-jun didn't call security. Instead, he picked up my phone, looked at the screen, then at me. "How long have you been working for them?" "I don't." "Don't insult me." "EFCC? Interpol? Which one recruited your father?" He sat on the edge of the desk, still holding my phone. "It's a good plan. Marry the old man, earn his trust, steal his secrets. Very classic." I said nothing, calculating distances to the door, to potential weapons. Mrs. Kang kept letter openers in the drawer. "Relax," Minute-jun said. "I'm not going to kill you." "Why not?" "Because I've been waiting for someone like you." He pulled out his own phone, showed me a photo. A young woman, maybe 18, with Minute-jun's eyes. My sister. Jin-woo took her 7 years ago. Promised her a restaurant job in Seoul. By the time I found her, she'd been sold to a brothel in Osaka. My breath caught. I got her out. Brought her home. But she's never been the same. His voice was flat, emotionless. "I've been working for Jin-woo for 6 years, waiting for my chance. But I'm just muscle. I don't have access to the real evidence. You do. You want to help me. I want to destroy him. If that means helping you, then yes." He handed back my phone. "But we need to be smart. Jin-woo suspects something. Not you specifically, but he knows someone's investigating him. That's why he moved up the Tokyo trip, his transferring digital assets early, just in case. The Tokyo trip is a cover. He's actually in Osaka, meeting with his IT guy. They're building a new encrypted system, moving everything off physical records. This ledger you found? It'll be worthless in a week." No, I'd been so close. "What do we do?" I asked. Minute-jun was quiet for a moment. "There's a digital vault. Master files, videos, transactions, everything. It's on a secured server, but Jin-woo accesses it from here. I can get you in, but you'll only have one shot. If he realizes the files have been accessed, he'll know it's an inside job." "When?" "Tomorrow night. I'll create a distraction, pull the guards. You'll have 20 minutes, maybe less. He stood. After that, we never speak of this again. You don't know me, I don't know you. When it all comes down, I'll disappear before they arrest me too. What about your sister? She's safe in Busan. New identity, new life. That's all I care about. He moved toward the door, then paused. Jinwoo was right about one thing. You are strong. Don't waste it. After he left, I finished photographing the ledger with shaking hands, then returned everything exactly as I'd found it. Back in my room, I contacted my handler. Major development. Inside Ally. Access to digital vault tomorrow night. Standing by for instructions. Response. Proceed with extreme caution. Extract everything. We'll have extraction team ready if compromised. Extraction team. That meant if this went wrong, I'd be pulled out. Witness protection, new identity. Exactly as Papa had promised. But Jinwoo would know. Would hunt my family. Would disappear and rebuild elsewhere. 44. This had to work. I didn't sleep that night. Just lay in the bed I'd shared with a monster, in the mansion bought with blood money, preparing to commit the ultimate betrayal. The thing was, I wasn't even sure it was betrayal anymore. Jinwoo was dying. Was building me up to inherit his empire. In his twisted way, he'd been kind to me. Gentle, even. But kindness from a monster was still monstrous. I thought of Minute-jun's sister. Of all the sisters, daughters, friends who trusted the wrong promise. Tomorrow night, I would burn it all down. The next evening crawled by like torture. Jinwoo called from Osaka at 6 p.m., his voice warm. Missing me, wife. Of course, I lied. I'll be home tomorrow evening. Be ready, I'm taking you to dinner. Time to start introducing you to the business associates. A pause. Are you ready for that? Yes. I'm ready. Good girl. Get some rest. I love you. The words hung in the air after he disconnected. I love you. Did he mean it? Could a man like him even understand love? It didn't matter. At 11 p.m., Minute-jun appeared at my door. It's time. He dismissed the interior guards, claiming a gas leak in the east wing that needed inspection. The security cameras would loop for exactly 23 minutes. His guy in the security room owed him a favor. The office felt different at night. Darker. More dangerous. Minute-jun booted up the hidden computer, a false panel in the desk. Biometric lock. I'll use Jinwoo's stored fingerprint from his whiskey glass. He'd actually saved a fingerprint. This man was thorough. The screen came alive. 17 minutes left, Minute-jun said. Download everything to this drive. Don't stop to read, just take it all. I plugged in the encrypted drive, started the transfer. Folders upon folders. Roots _2024, financials _Q3, payroll _officials, inventory. Inventory. Like they were shipping products, not people. My stomach turned as thumbnails loaded. Photos. Videos. Girls, some barely teenagers, in shipping containers, cramped apartments, brothels. Don't look, Minute-jun said quietly. Just download. But I couldn't look away. One girl, maybe 16, Nigerian like me. She stared at the camera with dead eyes, and I knew that look. The look of someone who'd given up hope. She. The download. I blinked back tears, focused. 73% complete. Then Minute-jun's phone buzzed. He checked it, went pale. Shit. Jinwoo's plane landed an hour early. His 30 minutes out. What? He said tomorrow. He lied. Or changed plans. Doesn't matter. We need to finish now. 87% complete. Can you stall him? I asked. He'll go straight to his room when he arrives. You need to be there, or he'll search the house. Minute-jun calculated. I'll tell him you're in the bath. That gives you maybe 5 minutes after he arrives. Finish the download, wipe your presents, get to the bathroom and wet your hair. 93%. Minute Jun. Go. Now. I'll close everything down after you leave. 97%. I grabbed the drive the second it hit 100%, shoved it into my bra. Minute Jun was already closing programs, wiping logs. I ran. Down 3 flights of stairs, into the master bedroom, into the bathroom. I turned on the shower, stripped, actually got under the water to make it believable. My heart pounded so hard I thought I'd pass out. Then I heard it. The front door. Jinwoo's voice, speaking rapid Korean to Mrs. Kang. Footsteps on the stairs. I forced myself to breathe slowly. Just a wife taking a late shower. Nothing suspicious. The bedroom door opened. Shishi. Jinwoo called. In here. One moment. I made my voice sleepy, surprised. Turned off the water, wrapped myself in a towel. When I opened the bathroom door, Jinwoo stood there in his travel clothes, smiling tiredly. You're back early, I said, going to him. Playing the loving wife. The drive felt like a burning coal against my breast. Finished early. Missed my bed. He pulled me close, kissed me. Missed my wife. His hands moved to untie my towel. No. Not now. Not with the evidence literally against my chest. Let me dry off first, I said, pulling back gently. I'm dripping water everywhere. You must be exhausted from the flight. Let me get you comfortable first. It worked. Jinwoo nodded, started undressing while I went back to the bathroom, dried off, and slipped on a nightgown, transferring the drive to a tampon box in the process. When I returned, he was in bed, waiting. Come here, he said. I went. He made love to me that night with unusual intensity, like he was trying to prove something. Afterwards, as he fell asleep holding me, I stared at the ceiling, the weight of what I'd done settling in. In the bathroom, hidden in plain sight, was enough evidence to destroy him. But he didn't know yet. Still trusted me. Still thought I was his devoted wife, learning to love him. The guilt should have eaten me alive. Instead, I just felt numb. I thought of the girl in the video. The one with my face and dead eyes. This was for her. For all of them. Jinwoo's breathing deepened into sleep. I carefully extracted myself from his arms, went to the bathroom, and sent a coded message, package secured. Awaiting extraction instructions. Response came immediately, standby. Analyzing data. Do not make any moves until further notice. Maintain cover. I deleted the messages, returned to bed. Jinwoo stirred, pulled me back into his arms. Where'd you go? Just the bathroom. Stay. He kissed my shoulder. Tomorrow, I'm introducing you to the partners. You'll need to look perfect. My perfect wife. I will. I know. You're exactly what I needed, Shishi. My final gift to myself before I die. His hand rested on my stomach. Maybe we'll even make a child. Would you like that? An heir. The thought made me want to vomit. Maybe, I whispered. He fell back asleep, satisfied. I lay awake until dawn, feeling the monster's heartbeat against my back, knowing that very soon, I would stop it forever. 3 days after downloading the files, I still hadn't heard from my handlers. Jinwoo, meanwhile, was preparing for his birthday gala, a massive event where he'd announce his retirement and introduce his successors. The event where, according to the original plan, everything was supposed to come crashing down. But that was still 5 months away. I couldn't wait that long. Not with what I'd seen in those files. You're distracted, Jinwoo observed over breakfast. Something wrong. Just nervous about tonight. The dinner with his business partners. My official debut as Mrs. Park. Don't be. You'll be magnificent. He reached across the table, took my hand. I'm proud of you, you know. How far you've come. From sold bride to devoted wife in 3 months. Record time for Stockholm Syndrome. Except I didn't have Stockholm Syndrome. I had a flash drive full of evidence and handlers who'd gone silent. That night, I wore a black dress Jinwoo had bought, Dior, probably cost more than my father's debt. Diamond earrings that felt like weights. I looked the part of a mafia wife perfectly. The restaurant was private, exclusive. 6 men and their wives, all Korean except me. They spoke in rapid Korean, occasionally switching to English for my benefit. So young, one wife said, smiling without warmth. Jinwoo always did like them fresh. Jinwoo's hand tightened on my thigh under the table. A warning. My wife speaks excellent Korean, he said smoothly. Don't you, darling? Well enough, I replied in Korean, making the woman flush. The conversation shifted to business. I listened carefully, memorizing names, connections. These were the men who'd inherit the empire. The successors. One of them, a younger man named Park Sang-woo, kept staring at me. Cousin, he said to Jinwoo, your wife is very beautiful. You're a lucky man. I know. I hope you're training her well. For after. The implication hung heavy. Jinwoo's expression went cold. My wife will inherit my personal holdings. The business transfers to the partnership, as we discussed. She's not part of that arrangement. Of course, of course. I just meant. I know what you meant. Jinwoo stood. Excuse us. He pulled me toward the bathrooms, but instead of stopping there, we went out a back exit to a private garden. I need you to understand something, he said quietly. After I die, those men will try to control you, use you, maybe even hurt you to get to what I'm leaving you. Then why? Because I trust you more than I trust them. The personal holdings, the legitimate businesses, the real estate, the accounts, they're yours. Free and clear. The trafficking network goes to them. I'm separating the two. This was new information. Critical information. Why tell me this now? Because Sang-woo just tried to stake a claim on you. That means the partnership is already fracturing, planning their moves. He cupped my face. Promise me you'll be careful. Promise me you won't let them win. Looking into his eyes, I saw genuine fear. Not for himself, he was dying anyway. For me. It would have been touching if he wasn't a monster. I promise, I lied. We returned to dinner. I smiled, played my part, and memorized everything. When we got home, Jinwoo made love to me with desperate intensity, like he was trying to brand himself into my soul. Afterwards, he said, I'm moving up my birthday gala. To next month. My blood froze. Why? The cancer is progressing faster than expected. I want to retire while I can still stand. He coughed, and I saw blood on his hand. I need to know everything's in order before I'm too weak. Next month. That meant 4 months early. That meant my handlers needed to move now. I'll be ready, I said. After he slept, I checked the encrypted phone. Finally, a message, data analyzed. Evidence is solid but insufficient for full prosecution. We need financial transfer records from upcoming gala. Date. I typed back. Date moved to next month. Repeat. 1 month out. Jinwoo's cancer accelerating. Need new timeline. The response took 10 minutes. Understood. Prepare for early extraction. Financial records are critical. Get US bank routing codes from the transfer ceremony at gala. We'll have teams ready to move immediately after. I stared at the message until the screen went dark. 1 month. 30 days to maintain my cover, get the final piece of evidence, and escape before Jinwoo's entire world, and mine, collapsed. 2 weeks before the gala, Jinwoo collapsed. I found him in his office, blood trickling from his mouth, skin grey. For a moment, I froze, not from fear, but from the horrible realization that I felt panic at the thought of losing him. Don't just stand there, he rasped. Help me. I got him to the couch, called his private doctor. While we waited, he gripped my hand with surprising strength. Not yet, he muttered. Can't die yet. Not before it's finished. Sure, save your strength. Listen to me. His eyes locked on mine. The safe. Behind the painting. Code is your birthday. Everything you need is in there. Jinwoo. If I die before the gala, promise me you'll complete the transfer. Promise me you'll protect what I've built. The cruel irony wasn't lost on me. He was trusting me to preserve the very thing I was working to destroy. I promise, I whispered, hating myself. The doctor arrived, stabilized him, increased his medications. Jinwoo spent 3 days in bed, weak but determined. During those 3 days, I accessed the safe. Inside, passports, 5 different identities for him, bearer bonds worth millions, property deeds, and a locked metal case. I photographed everything. The passports alone were evidence of his escape plans. But I couldn't open the case. It required a key I didn't have. On the 4th day, Jinwoo returned to work, thinner but focused. 1 week until the gala, he announced. Everything must be perfect. That night, Minute-jun found me in the library. He's dying faster than he thinks, Minute-jun said quietly. Which means the partnership is getting nervous. Sang-woo approached me yesterday. Wanted to know if I'd work for them after. What did you say? That I'm loyal to Jinwoo until the end. Which is true, I'm loyal to seeing him destroyed. He sat down. Did you get the vault files to your people? Yes. But they need more. Financial routing codes from the gala transfer. Those will be handled electronically, real-time. You'd need access to the actual ceremony. He thought for a moment. Jinwoo's planning to have you on stage with him. As his wife, witnessing the transfer of power. Could you photograph the screens? Maybe. If I'm careful. Don't be careful. Be smart. This is your one shot. He stood to leave, then paused. My sister asked about you. I told her about what you're doing. She said to tell you thank you. After he left, I sat in the darkness, thinking about all the sisters. All the daughters. All the women who deserved better than to be sold, used, destroyed. 1 week. The night of the gala, I barely recognized myself in the mirror. The dress was custom-made, white silk with gold embroidery, traditional Korean design meeting Nigerian elegance. My hair was styled in elaborate braids woven with gold thread. I wore the diamond necklace Jinwoo had given me, probably bought with blood money, but it completed the image. I looked like a queen. I felt like a weapon. Beautiful, Jinwoo said from the doorway. He wore a traditional hanbok, looking every inch the patriarch despite his illness. My perfect wife. He kissed me, and I tasted the medication on his breath. Are you ready? He asked. Yes. The venue was a luxury hotel ballroom, decorated in crimson and gold. Over 200 guests, business partners, politicians, associates from across Asia and Africa. The people who made his empire possible. I recognized faces from the files. Port officials who looked the other way. Immigration officers who stamped false documents. Recruiters who lured girls with promises. They all smiled at me, the naive young bride, never suspecting. Jinwoo kept me close all evening, introducing me with pride. My wife, Shishi. She'll be managing my personal holdings after I retire. Several people looked surprised. Sang-woo looked furious. At 9 p.m., Jinwoo took the stage. Thank you all for coming, he began in Korean, then English for my benefit. Tonight, I celebrate my 70th birthday and announce my retirement from active business. The partnership will assume control of operations, and I will enjoy my remaining time with my beautiful wife. Applause. Smiles. Everyone pretending this was a normal retirement and not a criminal enterprise changing hands. The formal transfer will now take place, Jinwoo continued. I ask my wife to join me. This was it. I climbed the stairs to the stage, my phone hidden in my clutch, set to camera mode. 3 large screens displayed the transfer ceremony. Bank accounts, routing numbers, confirmation codes, all visible as Jinwoo and the 6 partners entered their credentials. I positioned myself carefully, angling for the best view. My hands shook as I pretended to adjust my dress, actually activating the camera. Jinwoo explained each step, his voice strong despite his illness. The primary accounts transfer to the partnership trust. The secondary holdings transfer to my wife's name. All legal, all documented. The screens showed everything. Account numbers in the Caymans, Switzerland, Singapore, routing codes, transfer confirmations. I was getting it all. Then Sang-woo spoke up. And the physical assets. The properties used for operations. Those transfer as outlined in our agreement, Jin-woo said coolly. I'd like confirmation. For the record. Jin-woo's jaw tightened, but he pulled up another screen. Property addresses. Locations across 5 countries. I recognized some from the vault files, the holding houses, the transfer points. More evidence. More proof. I kept filming, praying no one noticed. The transfer took 20 minutes. When it finished, Jin-woo signed the final documents, and it was done. I'm officially retired, he announced to applause. As we left the stage, he leaned on me heavily. The ceremony had exhausted him. Take me home, he whispered. Please. We left early, before the party ended. In the car, Jin-woo closed his eyes. Did I do well? He asked. You were perfect. Good. Now it's your turn to be perfect. Build something better than I did. Promise me. I looked at this dying man who'd trusted me, loved me in his broken way, never knowing I was his destruction. I promise, I said, meaning it differently than he thought. At home, I helped him to bed. He fell asleep almost immediately, the medications and exhaustion overwhelming him. I went to the bathroom, locked the door, and uploaded everything to the encrypted phone. Within minutes, excellent work. We have everything we need. Extraction team is ready. Confirm you want to proceed. I stared at the message. This was it. The moment I'd been working toward for 4 months. Jin-woo was asleep. Vulnerable. I could leave now, disappear into witness protection, and watch his empire burn from safety. But something made me hesitate. I thought about his confession of love. His plans for me to inherit his legitimate businesses. His desire to build something better through me. He was still a monster. Still responsible for countless destroyed lives. But he was also dying, alone, believing I loved him. I typed, standby. I need to do this right. I returned to the bedroom, sat beside Jin-woo, and watched him sleep. In the morning, everything would change. But tonight, just for tonight, I let him have his peace. I woke to find Jin-woo watching me. You were going to leave last night, he said quietly. My blood froze. What? I saw you. After the gala. On your phone, making arrangements. He sat up slowly. I've known for weeks, Shishi. Maybe from the beginning. Jin-woo. Let me finish. He coughed, blood speckling the tissue. I knew your father was working with the authorities. I knew you were sent to spy on me. I've known everything. The room spun. Then why? Because I wanted it to work anyway. He looked at me with such sadness. I thought if I could make you love me, really love me, maybe you'd choose me over them. Maybe I could die with someone who cared. Tears burned my eyes. You used me. We used each other. I needed a wife. You needed to destroy me. We both got what we wanted. He reached for my hand. Except I made the mistake of actually falling in love with you. Don't. It's true. You're strong, intelligent, brave, everything I wanted in an heir. In a partner. I knew you were betraying me, and I loved you anyway. He squeezed my hand. The question is, did any of it become real for you? I wanted to say no. To tell him I'd felt nothing, that every kiss was a lie, every tender moment an act. But I'd be lying. Sometimes, I whispered. Sometimes it felt real. And I hated myself for it. He nodded. Good. That means you're human. That means there's hope for you. Hope for what? For building something better. The gala transfers. I separated everything carefully. The trafficking network goes to the partnership. They'll run it into the ground within a year, greedy idiots that they are. But the legitimate businesses, the clean money, that's all yours now. Really yours. I don't want your blood money. It's not all blood money. Some of it is legitimate profit from real businesses. Restaurants, real estate, shipping companies that actually ship legal goods. He pulled out a folder from the nightstand. Everything's documented here. The clean versus the dirty. I've been working for months to separate them. I stared at the folder. Why? Because I wanted you to have a choice. You can take the evidence you've gathered, burn down the trafficking network, and still walk away with enough to build a new life. Or you can walk away from everything and live in poverty with a clear conscience. Either way, you're free. And you? 66. I'm dying. Whether in prison or in this bed, what does it matter? He lay back down. I've made peace with what I am. But I don't want to take you down with me. I opened the folder. Inside were detailed records showing exactly which businesses were legitimate, which were fronts, which money came from trafficking and which didn't. Financial statements, legal documents, everything I'd need to claim the clean assets. There's about $50 million in completely legitimate holdings, Jinwoo said. Built over 30 years of legal business. It's yours. Divorce me, take it, disappear. I won't fight it. You're just letting me go. I'm setting you free. The same freedom I never gave those girls. His voice cracked. I can't undo what I've done. Can't bring them back or erase their suffering. But I can stop it from continuing. And I can make sure you don't suffer anymore. He reached for something else in the nightstand, a key. The metal case in the safe. This opens it. He pressed it into my palm. Inside are the names of every official I've bribed, every politician in my pocket, every person who made the network possible. Give it to your handlers. It'll take down the entire system. I stared at the key. Why are you doing this? Because I love you. Because I'm tired. Because I want one good thing to come from my miserable life. He closed his eyes. And because you reminded me that I used to be human, before I became a monster. I sat there, holding the key, watching this dying man who'd bought me like property and somehow ended up loving me enough to destroy himself. The authorities are coming, I finally said. Today. They have everything they need. I know. I've been waiting. He smiled faintly. Will you stay with me? Until they arrive. Every instinct screamed to run. To get out before I was caught in the collapse. But I thought of those girls. Of Minute-jun's sister. Of every life destroyed. And I thought of this broken man who'd chosen, finally, to do one decent thing. I'll stay, I said. Jinwoo's hand found mine. Thank you. We sat in silence as the sun rose, waiting for the end. They came at 8 a.m. Interpol, Korean National Police, EFCC officers, a coordinated international raid. Minute-jun had already disappeared, as promised. The household staff were arrested. Sang-woo and the other partners were picked up simultaneously across Seoul. Jinwoo dressed carefully, refused a wheelchair. Walked down the stairs with dignity. Mr. Park Jin-woo, the lead investigator said in Korean, you're under arrest for human trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. I understand. Jin-woo held out his wrists for the handcuffs. I'll cooperate fully. Then he looked at me. My wife had nothing to do with my business operations. She's a victim in this. We know, my EFCC handler said, stepping forward. Mrs. Park has been cooperating with our investigation. She's not under arrest. Jin-woo smiled. Good. She deserves better than this. As they led him away, he turned back once. Build something beautiful, Shishi. Promise me. I promise, I said, and meant it. The handler, a woman named Agent Okonkwo, touched my arm gently. You did well. We have everything we need. The network is finished. What happens now? Now you testify. Help us prosecute not just Jin-woo but everyone involved. Then witness protection, new identity, new life. Just like we promised. I nodded, numb. They searched the house, found the metal case, the documents. Everything Jinwoo had prepared for them. It took 3 days to process everything. 3 days of interviews, statements, evidence review. On the 4th day, Agent Okonkwo sat across from me with a strange expression. "We verified the financial records Jinwoo gave you," she said. "The legitimate holdings are exactly as he documented. Completely clean money, no connection to the trafficking. And it's legally yours. The marriage was valid. The transfers were completed before his arrest. You're entitled to approximately $52 million in assets." The number was incomprehensible. "But there's a problem," she continued. "If you accept it, you can't enter witness protection. You'll be a public figure, subject to media scrutiny, possibly targeted by what's left of Jinwoo's organization. And if I refuse it? New identity, complete protection, but you walk away with nothing except our gratitude. Blood money or safety? Another impossible choice. Can I think about it?" "You have 48 hours. That night, I visited Jinwoo in the hospital wing of the detention center. His cancer had accelerated. The doctors gave him weeks at most. "You came," he said weakly. "I needed to ask you something." I sat beside his bed. "Did you really love me? Or was that just another manipulation?" He was quiet for a long moment. "Both. I manipulated you into marriage. But somewhere along the way, it became real. I can't explain it. Maybe I'm just a lonely old man who wanted to believe he could be loved despite what he was. I can't forgive you for what you did to those girls. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking you to live. Really live. Take the money, build something good, prove that something beautiful can come from all this ugliness. The authorities want me to take witness protection instead." "Fuck witness protection. You'll spend your life hiding, afraid, accomplishing nothing. Take the money. Take the power. Use it to help the girls I hurt. Build shelters, fund investigations, destroy every operation like mine." He gripped my hand. "Be the hero I never could be. That's a lot of pressure. You can handle it. You brought down my empire. You can build your own." He coughed violently. "Just promise me one thing." "What?" "Remember that I loved you. Whatever else happens, whatever you do with the rest of your life, remember that one monster loved you enough to destroy himself." Tears streamed down my face. "I'll remember." "Good." He closed his eyes. "Now go. Build your kingdom." I left him there, knowing I'd never see him alive again. I took the money. Agent Okonkwo wasn't happy about it, but she understood. "You're taking a risk," she said. "Sangwoo's lawyers are already making noise about contesting the will. Let them try. I have better lawyers now." The trials took 18 months. I testified at all of them, facing down the men who'd profited from suffering. Jinwoo died 6 weeks after his arrest, too weak to even attend his own trial. He left me one final letter. "Shishi. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. Good riddance, right? But I wanted you to know that my final months, knowing you were out there building something better, gave me more peace than I deserved. I've instructed my lawyers to fight any challenges to your inheritance. You earned every penny of that money, not by being my wife, but by having the courage to destroy me. Don't waste it on guilt. Don't waste it on grief. Use it to burn down every operation like mine. Save the girls I couldn't save. Be the person I should have been. I love you. I'm sorry. And I'm proud of who you'll become. Jinwoo." I kept the letter. With the money, I started the Phoenix Foundation, helping trafficked women rebuild their lives. Education, therapy, legal support, job training. Everything they needed to rise from the ashes. Minutjun reached out 6 months after the trials ended. His sister was doing better, running a cafe in Busan. We became friends, bonded by shared trauma and shared purpose. 77. My family entered partial protection, new names, new city, but still in Nigeria. My father went to therapy for his gambling addiction. My mother opened a small business. My brothers went to university. We video call every Sunday. They don't ask much about my time with Jinwoo. Some things are better left unspoken. The media called me the Mafia bride who brought down an empire. I hated the title, but I used the attention. Spoke at conferences. Lobbied for stronger trafficking laws. Funded investigations across 3 continents. Sangwoo tried to contest the will. He lost. Then he tried to have me killed. He failed. Now he's serving 30 years in prison. The trafficking network Jinwoo built? Completely destroyed. Over 200 arrests across 12 countries. Thousands of women freed. Not all of them recovered. Some were too broken. Some never came home. But some did. And they're thriving. Like the Nigerian girl I'd seen in Jinwoo's vault files. We found her in Tokyo, brought her home, got her treatment. Now she works for the foundation, helping other survivors. She asked me once if I hated Jinwoo. I don't know, I admitted. He was a monster who did terrible things. But he also gave me the power to stop monsters like him. So maybe I hate what he was, but I'm grateful for what he made possible. Did you love him? Sometimes. In the moments when I forgot what he was, I almost loved him. And that's the most terrifying part, that I could feel anything for someone like that. She nodded. The man who trafficked me was kind sometimes too. It made it harder, not easier. Exactly. 5 years after Jinwoo's death, I met someone new. A lawyer who worked on trafficking cases, passionate about justice. We fell in love slowly, carefully. He knows my history, accepts it. We're not married yet. Maybe we never will be. Marriage feels complicated after everything. But we're building something together. Something clean. Something good. On the anniversary of Jinwoo's death, I visit his grave. Not to mourn, but to report. 53 women rescued this year, I told his headstone last month. 2 new shelters opened. 3 trafficking rings destroyed. All with your money. All because you finally did one decent thing. The wind rustled through the cemetery trees. I kept my promise. I built something beautiful. But I'll never forgive you for what you did. The good I'm doing doesn't erase the evil you committed. It just means that something grew from the ashes. I placed flowers on the grave, white chrysanthemums, Korean funeral flowers, and walked away. Behind me, carved in the stone, Park Jinwoo, 1955 to 2025. May he find the peace he never gave. 10 years after Jinwoo's death, I stood in front of the United Nations, addressing the General Assembly on human trafficking. I was sold at 21, I began. Sold by my own father to a criminal empire. I was supposed to be a victim. Instead, I became a weapon. I told them about the girls. About the network. About the men who profited from suffering. And I told them about the foundation. About the 500 women we'd helped rebuild their lives. About the new laws we'd helped pass. About the trafficking rings we'd helped destroy. My story is unusual, I concluded. Most victims don't get the chance I got. Most don't have access to evidence, or support, or resources. That's why we must do better. We must give them those chances. We must build systems that protect them, not profit from them. The standing ovation lasted 5 minutes. Afterwards, a young woman approached me. Nigerian, maybe 19. Thank you, she whispered. Your foundation saved my sister. She's home now because of you. I hugged her, this stranger who wasn't a stranger at all. What's your name? I asked. Amora. Amora, your sister saved herself by being strong enough to survive. I just helped her find the way home. She smiled through tears. My sister said you'd say that. She said you never take credit. Because the credit belongs to the survivors. I just had the resources to help. Resources I gained from. I paused. From a complicated situation. From the man who bought you. Yes. Do you think he knew that his money would do this? I thought about Jinwoo's final letter. His instruction to build something beautiful. I think he hoped. And hope, even from a monster, is worth something. Amora nodded. My sister wants to meet you someday. When she's ready. I'll be here. We'll always be here. She left, and I stood in the empty auditorium, thinking about the journey. From a compound in Soyulir to the UN General Assembly. From a souled bride to a voice for the voiceless. Jinwoo had been right about one thing. I was strong enough to endure. But he'd been wrong about something too. I didn't just survive his world. I conquered it. Dismantled it. Built something better from its ruins. And every girl we saved, every life we rebuilt, every monster we put behind bars, that was my revenge. Not violence. Not hatred. But transformation. I was sold for 75 million naira. I bought freedom for thousands. And I'm not done yet. Thank you for watching this story on Quisper TV. If this story moved you, please like, share, and comment below. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments section. Your support helps us bring more important stories to light. Until next time, stay blessed and stay vigilant.